In this section, we'll examine what happens if you die without a will. One of the first questions that might arise if you die without a will is who decides what happens to my body? There is an Alaska law that outlines who has priority to make such a decision. In order of preference, the following people have priority. First, a surviving spouse. Next would be an adult son or daughter. Otherwise, either one of your parents, an adult brother or sister, your guardian at time of death, or any other person authorized or under obligation to dispose of your body, and finally, any other person willing to assume legal and financial responsibility. If you die without a will, your property will be divided according to the laws of intestacy. These laws are intended to reflect what most people would want, keeping the property within the close family. However, the laws of intestacy can be confusing and don't always provide a plan that people want. If you don't like the plan outlined in the next few slides, you need to prepare a will. This slide outlines how your property would be divided if you were married and died without a will. I'm not going to read this out loud, but you should take your time to read this information carefully. This slide outlines how your property would be divided if you were not married at the time of your death and you died without a will. Again, I'm not going to read this out loud because the rules are rather complicated. You should review this information carefully. If this distribution pattern is not what you want to happen with your property, you should definitely prepare a will. If you die without a will, or if you have a will but do not name a personal representative, the following persons have priority in administering your estate. First, a surviving spouse who receives a gift in your will. Next, any other person who receives a gift in your will. Third, a surviving spouse, but one which does not receive a gift in your will. Next, any other adult survivors. And finally, any creditor if more than 45 days have passed since your death and no probate has been started. Now that you've had a chance to see what happens to your property if you die without a will, you can decide whether you actually need or want a will. Section 4 takes you through a section-by-section review of the contents of a will.